Hi there! In this video I will be showing you how to install a Towbar on the 2010 Porsche Cayenne 957. Before we begin, it's important to note that this process will require some basic automotive knowledge and tools. Make sure you have the necessary experience and equipment before attempting this project. The first thing you need to do is gather all the materials you will need for the installation. This will include the Towbar itself, all the mounting hardware, and the tools that you will need: a torque wrench, a variety of sockets and wrenches. In this case, I will use my bits Torx T25 and T27, some small flat screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, and the wrenches. It's a socket 21 and a socket 18. This is generally the tools that we need, but if during the process I will need some more tool, I will tell you, and of course on the description you will find tool list and all the material list with the links from where I purchased it. I bought a Westphalia system that includes the Towbar with the invisible hook that you can disassemble, and it comes with the electronics and the box, the control box that will connect directly to the car. This kit came also with this wiring. If your car don't have the red connector already installed, it comes ready to take the wire from the back to the front, to the fuse panel on the passenger side, and make all the connections for you to be able to connect it. In my case, these wires are not necessary because I have confirmed already and I have this red socket already in the car. If you see, the kit came with all the bolts and the fuses and a lot of stuff that we need to install it on the car. The next step is to remove the bumper on your Porsche Cayenne. We have a lot of Torx T25 bolts and some T27, and I think that to remove the taillight we will need some Allen key, but I have to check the size first. I will start by removing the taillight, and to do that you need to, with a small flat screwdriver, take these covers. If you inspect it, you have a small recess here in the bottom to put and to take the cover. Now in here we have a number 5 Allen bolt. It's something that you need to add to the tool list, and we remove these bolts. And by removing them, the taillight is now free. You just need to push it towards you. It has, on this side, it has a clip on the rubber, so you need to push it a little bit to the front, and it will get loose and came off. Like this. You see, this tab, this pin here gets secure in there. Now you just have the electrical connector that I usually put a screwdriver and push it, and it simply came off. Before we move further, we have here this rubber cover. I just push it, and here below we have a Torx T27 bolt that we need to undo. And remove that plastic piece. Oh, it fell down. I will take it when I remove the bumper. With the taillight off, you can clearly see the 2 Torx T25 bolts that we have here that we need to take. This was the reason why we removed the taillight. On the wheel well, we have 3 Torx T25 bolts that we need to remove. Let me see. Here, 1, 2, 3. So we can gain access under the cover to remove one bolt that it is attaching the bumper to the body. I will remove these bolts, and also here below we have one more here one other here, and this cover that it has a heat protection due to the muffler. So we take this cover, take these bolts, and all the bolts here below. The ones in the center, we will have T27, and these ones here near the cover, they are T25. So I will remove them all, and then I will show you on top this one that attaches the bumper to the body. Now with the cover off, you can see clearly the Torx T25 bolt that it is attaching the bumper to the body. Let's remove it, and you should be able to remove the bumper. Before I remove the bumper, I just want to show you that in my case, my bumper already have the factory cut in here for the tow bar. If you don't have this, you will need to have it open, and this is what it looks like from factory. At this point, with all the bolts removed and everything disconnected, we should be able to simply push the bumper off. Of course, this is simpler to be done by two persons, but I'm alone here on the shop and I will have to do it by myself. And like this, I can show you that it is possible to be done just by one. The bumper is now free. You have to be careful because on the driver's side, we will have the connector for the sensors that we need to undo. And now, remove it carefully. It's time to remove the OEM crash bar. Just locate the bolts on both sides and remove them. The crash bar is an aluminum piece and it is quite light. With the crash bar removed, we can now attach the tow bar itself. First, we need to attach the tow bar using one bolt on each side. Then we need to make sure that it is properly centered, and we will tighten the bolts to fix it in place. Install the remaining bolts all around, and using the torque wrench, we will torque them to spec. Now we can see that with the 4 bolts in, the bar won't move, and we have here the center that it is aligned here with the center of the hole. So it's good to go. We can now tighten the bolts and then torque them. So we have now all the bolts torqued. We can now pass to the wiring. We will use this passage here, that it is the factory passage, to get the wire inside of the car. We will follow the instructions provided by Westphalia with the kit. Let's put the connector here and pass the wire there and finalize all this. So the instructions clearly state to put in the metal bracket, to put the rubber in front, and then bolt the socket over it, putting 1 hole down and 2 up. I will install this like this, and then I will show you and continue to route the wire inside. And so here you can see the 30-pin plug bolted in place and secured. So let's continue now to route the wire and pass it through here inside. And it is in there, really nice. Now, in order to be able to use the same foam here on top to to reinforce the bumper, we need to cut a small section here on the corners and on the center to allow these steps to pass this, and this cap here. See here the cuts that I made on both sides and a little bit here in the middle, so this can sit here flush and aligned, so it can hold the bumper. I will now use some zip ties to hold it in place. Now this foam will stay here nice and tight to reinforce the bumper. Now here inside for the wiring, the instruction says that we have the 12-pin red connector somewhere in here inside, and we will have a ground point down here, right about there, to connect our grounds. Let me see if I can show you. It's not easy to see, but we have the ground point right over there, where we have that brown wire. It goes to a shiny metal stuff, and in here you can clearly see right over there in the middle of the image a red dot. It's the connector that it is behind the foam. I will push it to the front, and probably I will need to take this module here to be able to access the ground point. Now I just disconnect this module, push it to the front, and I was able to gain access right there to the ground point where I have already bolted our ground. We need now to get to the red connector and attach the control box that just goes with this connector in one side and the red one in the other. To be able to get to the red connector, I had to take this module and do 3 bolts, one here, one there, and one inside. You will see them clearly. They are Torx T27, and now I was able to sneak the red connector here to the front. It's the maximum I can, and but it will be enough now to have the model connected here on top of this one. The instruction states that on the fuse panel on the right side we need to have some fuses that in our case we already have them in here. It should be on the fuse holder 1, 2, 3 and 5. And the holder 1 15 amps, holder 2 5, 3 15 amps, and on the 5 another 15 amps. So in here we are okay. Now that the tow bar is fully installed, it's important to test it and make sure that everything works and it's secure. I will hook up a trailer and give it a tug to see if it's properly mounted. I believe it is. And I will check if the lights are working properly and if everything works before I reinstall everything. To test this, we just need to take this cap and slide it in and just give it a light pull and it will lock. Now that it is locked, we just need to turn the key and it is secured in place. This one has a maximum load of 140 kilograms of vertical load. It's a lot. Now, even if the car is high because it's on the lift, I will attach it anyway, nice and secure, and I will connect the lights. Now I just turn on the key and you can see the presence lights are already on, and here in the rear. Now with the model connected and everything tested, we can reinstall the bumper that we will follow the step 2 on reverse order. So we will put the bumper connecting the sensors, then bolting all around, and finally put the taillights. everything assembled. You can see here below how the electrical connector and the heat receiver, how they look like behind in the bumper cut. And that's it. If you follow my instructions, you should now have a fully functioning tow bar on your Porsche Cayenne 957. As always, be sure to follow all safety guidelines when installing any automotive equipment and never exceed the rated capacity of your tow bar. This was the video for today. I really hope you enjoy it and it can be useful for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so you don't lose any of the new content. Follow me also on the social networks, on Facebook and especially on Instagram, where I post regular updates between the videos. See you on the next one. Bye!